She's not the only one, though. Megawatt as Hannah Hodges, another rider to keep an eye on. The 17 machine. We'll see what happens. Look at that. The 17 thread the needle through that first turn.
Wow.
Oh, she may or may not have got the credit for the hole shot, but she's right there in contention. It is Hannah Hodges getting that hole shot, and she is looking at the moment to hang on to
man.
For a moment as we came out of the hole shot 4, she was appearing to hold on to the lead as we came down the short chutes. Now head down toward the 10 Commandments. Things are starting to shape up.
I think it's a KTM actually took the lead from Hannah right there. Now Hannah actually might have put, oh no, she's lost the lead, absolutely. Is that Shelby Rowland? Who is that?
Well, we'll get out there and take a look at that front pack here in just a few moments as we watch our field of riders making their way through this 10 Commandments section for the first time. And, you know, this is one of the toughest one of the toughest times to try to make it through there with all those riders. But we lose that 69 maybe that we saw there.
That's
Jamie Osadillo.
Yeah, Jamie.
Jamie Osadillo from Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania on SOBX Yoshimura Renegade Fuels Incorporated backed ride. Defiance Lifestyle Clothing Company, also a proud sponsor of that young lady as we make our way.
Look at this, Rodney.
Mercy.
Holy cow, we got 4 ladies that want that lead right now. 4 ladies headed for the same rut, same berm, Rodney.
I'll tell you what, they are after it too. Side by side, you see the look over as they came over that jump there in the infield from the number 30 machine as she makes her way around. Jordan Jarvis on that Kawasaki out of Clayton, North Carolina. The look over she gave her when she came over that jump. Moving back up into the number 2 spot now will be Hannah Hodges as things are starting to change right here in these closing moments of lap number 1. The 34 machine moving into the number 3 spot is Taylor Allred.
Wow.
Jamie Osadillo dropping from 1st back to a 4th place position. There's Taylor Jones into 5th. Katie Benson in 6th. Viviana Contreras is 7th. Shelby Rowland in 8th. Suzanne Wilson 9th. And Landry Hazen rounding out the top 10. 11 through 20 now is Avery Berry in that number 11 spot aboard the 36. Brianna Sheltima, the 63 and 12. Carrie Wilson, the 52 and 13. Sophia Phelps, the 56 and 14. Brittany Gagne, the 83 in 15th. Lena Randolph, the 60 and 16. Jessica Jeffrey, Bryce Martinez, Alicia Goggle, and Aurora Schmelian rounds out your top 20 as we join the action back up front.
Back into the 10 Commandments we go. Still looks like Jordan Jarvis on that number 30 machine. Hannah Hodges going wide on that number 17 Husqvarna. Not able to make anything happen right there. Jarvis has a good rhythm through there and getting a good drive. Keeping the tires of that Kawasaki in the dirt, Rodney Tomlin. As she comes back around. Now look at this. Grabs a couple bike links right there. She comes back to water. Oh, Hannah Hodges, both feet off the pegs there. She's scrambling right now. She doesn't want to let Jarvis get away. She knows the pace, but the real problem is Allred won't go away.
No,
Allred's right behind her, and she's putting the pressure on her, man. And I got to tell you, it is hard to race forward when you feel the heat from behind.
There you go. It's double the pressure for Jarvis.
Whoa!
Look at that, because this is only intensifying things behind her, which is obviously going to find her
Oh, look
soon.
at this.
Oh, mercy.
Allred using every line on the track. She's just back there going anywhere Hodges is not. Wherever Hodges is, she's taking the other line. And I got to tell you, right now looks relentless. Coming through the beach right now, Allred on the rear fender of that KTM making it happen, dude.
Wow, look at this battle going on right now for that number 4 spot. Osadillo, and I believe that's Taylor Jones on the 13 as she comes underneath.
Yep.
Jones going to take away the 4th place position, or will she?
No.
No, she does not. She had it looked like, for a moment, but all of a sudden, Osadillo striking back. And I do have to send a shout-out to Jamie Osadillo and Pops. They came out to GNCC Racing in Georgia whenever we made our return back at the Bulldog GNCC at Aonia Pass. Both Jamie and her father racing in the same morning class race. And, of course, that means that Taylor Jones and Jamie Osadillo have some common grounds out there. Also, Katie Benson, a big GNCC off-roader as well.
Right.
Those 3 riders are hooked up in 4th, 5th, and 6th right now.
Holy cow. We knew this was going to be a good race. I don't think we quite expected it was going to be quite this close, quite this intense, but we knew that there would be some battles up there.
Jones down. Jones down on the other side of the Monster Energy can there. What a tough break for her. Viviana Contreras now getting by. Katie Benson is by. Shelby Rowland now making her way by on that 94 machine.
She stuck down in behind the
monster can, yeah.
Actually, the daggone it, the hay bale. She stuck down behind that berm and had to get the bike up and over that hay bale.
Hey,
on it.
One thing I can say about this girl, she knows how to ride hard and fast. She's got a lot of fuel in the tank too. We've seen her go intense for 2 solid hours, so we know that this 20 minutes.
That's right.
She's got what it takes to run this 20, but does she have what it takes to run this field down in the 20?
That didn't even raise her heart rate, bro. All right, she might have got slightly excited, but that didn't even put her up 2 beats a minute. Okay.
Well, that's going to change the face of this one, no doubt about it, as Jarvis and Hodges make their way around here on this 3rd lap. Here is this number 30. Actually, they're not far off, and neither is Allred. They're still close together in 1, 2, and 3 as they hit this final turn now. To the deep inside goes the number 30 of Jarvis, and here comes Hodges and Allred still hot on the pace.
I like Allred's position. I'm telling you right now, I just saw about 3 mistakes from Jordan Jarvis in a matter of 4 or 5 turns. You see Hodges riding pretty wild to get up there and close that gap. I like Allred's chances right here.
There is no love lost between Jarvis and Hodges. And by the way, that's not a coincidence. Pretty much any year in the women's class, if you got 2 or 3 riders that want to win, they want to win worse than any other rider in any other class. So no love lost between them. Now you got Taylor Allred. We've been watching her come through the ranks. It looks like she's a primetime player now, ready to run the pace of Jarvis and Hodges. And it is still pretty close. Hodges not losing a lot of ground. This is going to be a fun one all week.
We're going to see this 2 more times, bro.
You know, Hodges loses the back end. So motivated right there.
And that's that effort, dude. That's the going for it. That's just grabbing too much, bro.
And now Allred starting to roll back up.
Exactly.
On, your second place rider, Hannah Hodges. There's Allred on the 34. Then it's Astudillo. She's all alone now. That Taylor Jones crashed. Benson is next.
You got to wonder if that's going to give her enough of an edge to hang on to that 4th place position. Is she going to get hung out there? Is she going to get hungry and try to track these girls down? There is about a 10-second gap ahead of her, and she's got about a 10-second gap behind her, so she's kind of hung out there in no man's land.
Jarvis has the pressure of leading. Jarvis has the pressure of Hannah Hodges behind her. Hannah Hodges has the pressure of not leading and also having Taylor Allred. Taylor Allred has no pressure from behind. She's moving forward. She's racing. Look how composed she is. The other 2 are making mistakes. I have not seen Allred make a mistake yet.
That's a lap rider that Hodges is getting right now. Allred continues to close from 3rd.
Dude, she's composed. You look at her.
Yep.
Coming up on some lap traffic. This right here could change the face of this race also. Line choice is critical as we come through that steeper turn and into the final turn now.
Oh, watch this.
Allred keeps closing.
Man. I thought she was going to have that momentum. I didn't think she'd make the pass, but I knew she'd be on her tire. But I got to tell you something. So impressed with Taylor Allred.
Well, this has led to the advantage for Jarvis, who has pulled away a little bit now. 4.7 seconds. She just ran a 2:03. And Hodges a 2:06. Allred a 2:05. Astudillo 4th, a 2:13. She had a bad lap there.
Right.
So Katie Benson might try to track her down for 5th. The rest of the top 10 is Viviana Contreras, Shelby Rowland, Avery Berry, Sophia Phelps. Taylor Jones back up to 10th after the crash. She was going for 4th.
She's relentless, dude.
Yep.
She's relentless and laid down the law in the e-mountain bike race the other night. Dude.
Race anywhere, any off-road series. And then also pretty darn fast on the e-mountain bike.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. I mean, she was going for 4th early in this. She's got some moto chops, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, who's down? Didn't get an ID right
yellow
there.
Flags out. That was Hodges and Allred sneaking through after the 10 Commandments.
And what do we at? Lap 4. Okay, all right. Back in the waterworks back there coming out of the woods. And I got to tell you something. Allred just looking smooth as can be to me, looking smooth as glass.
Yeah, Allred really having things dialed in right now. She's just waiting on the moment to seize the opportunity. And I'll tell you right now, as deep as we are into lap traffic for these lead riders, we are about half the field deep in, about 24, 25 places for these for these lead lap riders. Jordan Jarvis, Hannah Hodges, Taylor Allred, Jamie Ostadio, now Katie Benson in the number 5 spot. It's getting tougher and tougher to maintain position and pace. Like I said, line choice is extremely critical up here, especially in this battle for the second place position between Hodges and Allred. As we've watched, I'm sure both riders mix it up and maybe make little mistakes in those turns. But one thing you pointed out, little mistakes here, little mistakes there. Those are micro mistakes. The micro mistakes I watched calculate up between Hannah Hodges and Taylor Allred resulted in a 1.1 second difference in their lap times last time around. However, this last time around, Hannah Hodges, mistakes or not, lap traffic has really been key for her. It's really helped her out a lot. So she nearly doubles that lead from 0.9 to almost 0.8 over Taylor Allred. So a little bit extra breathing room there as we roll through the midway point of this moto. It's not a lot of ground, but it's some ground.
Oh, and let me tell you something. At the midway point of the moto, every piece of ground you can pick up is one you got in your pocket, one that you can count on until you give it up.
Continuing to watch and wait. Our top 6 are in. Jarvis, Hodges, Allred, Ostadio still in the number 4 spot. Vivian Contreras now in the number 5 spot, as that number 5 position has been the man, that's been the place you ain't wanted to get for whatever reason. Every time someone gets in that number 5 position, something happens, and we see him fall back a few positions. Avery Berry now in 6th. Taylor Jones is back up to 7th place after dropping to a 10th place position after that little spillover there early in the race. Katie Benson is now 8th place. Sophia Phelps is 9th. Shelby Rowland rounds out the top 10. Another GNCC off-roader, as well as WMX star. And it looks like, well, might as well go ahead and halfway point. Brianna Shelton now in the number 11 spot. Landry Hazen 12th. Brooke Whipple is 13th. Lena Randolph 14th. Carrie Wilson 15th. Brittany Gagne 16th. Suzanne Wilson 17th. Aurora Schmelian in 18th. Jessica Jeffrey 19th. And Bryce Martinez rounds out your top 20, as we say thanks to our good friends at Moto Tees, the official event souvenir supplier of the Loretta Lynn Amateur National Motocross Championship. Stop down to any one of our Moto Tees trailers and pick up your souvenirs. One of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as far as I'm concerned. You know you were here. You know what it feels like. You know what the experience is like. Take home the T-shirt to remind yourself of it.
You got that right. And take a look at this. Holy cow. Did you imagine that we were going to have a battle like this for the podium?
I did. I thought I knew it was going to be like this. I mean, the gloves are off in this women's class every time they come out. We've seen the gloves off. It may not have been the battle that we'd hoped for at Daytona, the Supercross, because we might have been looking for a little more. We thought we were going to get to see more at the upcoming races that, you know, the big races out there, some of the majors, but those majors never happened. So this, who knew what was going to happen? I can tell you what I knew was going to happen. I knew these girls were hungry. I knew they'd been chomping at the bit to get out here and race against each other. And voila, the result is just exactly this. Jordan Jarvis flexing her muscles here in Moto number 1 with a 10.9 second lead over Hodges. Hodges and Allred have battled basically from the drop of the gate for that second place position, third place position since lap number 1. 1.3 seconds is all that separates the 17 and the 34 machine now, and it's a lot less than that.
That's what I'm saying.
Allred is closing up this gap and is on the rear wheel, nearly under the rear fender of the 17 of Hannah Hodges.
I told you I like that position. There was no pressure on her whatsoever. Hodges has felt that pressure. Not that she can't deal with it, but she has felt that pressure for 6 laps, Rodney.
6 laps is a long time to be under pressure and second-guessing every move you make.
Oh, man.
What is taking place behind you and what might be up the sleeve of the rider behind you. So, yeah, a lot of things weighing on Hannah Hodges, but so far, so good. She is not faltered at least the position, and around more lap traffic, she's able to travel and maintain that lead. There you saw that thing tighten up, but when we get in that lap traffic, it starts to separate again. One thing that Taylor Allred doesn't want to do is follow her so closely behind that lap traffic, because if they go down, then she's stuck in the fight with them, and she don't want to be a part of that.
It almost happened a moment ago. Hannah was able to get right through. It startled the lapper. The lapper cut over on Allred and really cost her a couple bike lengths.
From behind the billboard now, past the Yamaha Mechanics area, heading into the whole shot forest, we roll for this battle for second place position. Jordan Jarvis now leading this one, a 12.6 second lead, but all eyes on this second place position. Hodges and Allred, the 17:34.
Allred going inside of her, still just can't make it happen.
Heartbreaker there for Taylor Allred. She got a little hard on the throttle, lost a little bit of that traction and that chop. She spins out, goes down, and wow, what a heartbreaker for Allred. You know she is really kicking herself in the tail right now. But again, this race ain't over completely for her. We still got lap traffic and still some time out there and mistakes. They still could be yielded, as I believe our 2 lap board may have just gone in, and we are looking for a white flag coming out.
She's still in the game, bro.
Yeah.
Allred's still in the game.
That's what I'm saying. She's not going to, as long as she keeps her mental focus, she may be right back in the striking distance before we know it. But time is quickly running out, but quickly she is closing that gap as well.
Man, that just tells me she hasn't spent as much energy. She did not have that pressure on her. Even though she spun out right there. I don't think she completely hit the ground, Rodney. We lost the camera. I think she spun around, did a 360. And when she got it squared away, man, she was back on the gas. Brought it right back to her.
Must not lost any momentum. Hodges, I don't think that Hodges realizes, or maybe got a little too comfortable knowing that pressure had lightened up, thinking, finally I can relax. No, Hannah Hodges, this is not a time to relax, because Taylor Allred is not relaxing here at this juncture in this race. The 2 lap board is out this time. Jarvis gets it as she goes by. Here comes Hodges and Allred. They will also take it. The gap now, probably about 3 to 4 seconds. We'll get the official gap on this, the official word on this. 14 seconds between first and second now, and 3.3 seconds. And that gap has shrunk down probably, it was probably double that after the incident. And you can see that Taylor Allred has her head down and charging. She's charged with a 2-minute, 10-second lap. But I can tell you, if you were looking at the splits on that, she turned a pretty doggone fast lap that time around.
She did, and when she came by, I noticed for the first time her head started to bobble and drop just a little bit. I think that spin out did take a little bit out of her, giving that up. But she also knows, hey, we're moving into the last 2 motos. Coming in here with third, that's as good as a win, okay, with 2 more motos to go. That's the bottom line. Anything inside that top 5, your championship hopes are well alive. No 2 ways about that. And again, nobody gets lucky at Loretta Lynn's. You have to do it 3 times. Nobody lucks into 3 wins. Nobody lucks into a 2, 3, 7. It just doesn't happen. White flag, no, 2-lap card is still out. 2-lap card is still out. Should be seeing that white flag. Looking for Jordan Jarvis. That number 30 machine should be coming through any moment. Trying to get a visual on her.
Well, there's the 29, so doesn't 30 usually follow? Just kidding. But you're right. It shouldn't be too much longer. Actually, we're just now through the top 10.
There she is right there. Okay.
Yeah. Jarvis Hodges, Allred, Astudillo,
right in front of us.
Number 5 spot. Taylor Jones in 6th. Avery Berry in 7th. Katie Benson in 8th. Sophia Phelps in 9th. And Shelby Rowland rounding out the top 10. And I'm going to say this. I mean, there are 3, because I come from the off-road world. You hear me say that all the time. I know you
yada, yada.
But here's what, I mean, we got 3 of those girls in the top 10. If we want to claim Jamie Astudillo and Jordan Jarvis for, you know, those girls come out and race a couple of GNCCs, hey, 50% of the top 10 are off-road riders, in a sense.
Travis Pastrana rode a GNCC twice,
exactly.
too.
That's what I'm trying to say, right? But no, the beauty of it is, I mean, it's great to see the talents spread out amongst these girls and see them going and trying these different genres and getting out of their comfort zone, so to speak.
Yeah, hey, anywhere, anytime. These top 10 girls right here, Brooke Whipple, Shelby Rowland, Sophia Phelps, Katie Benson, show me a race, and they're going to show up. Okay, there's no doubt about that.
Jarvis, Hodges, Allred all in with 9 laps complete. They have a 47-second lead over 4th place position at the end of lap number 8. I'm going to say we're pushing somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 50 seconds and maybe closer to 1 minute by the time the checkers fly, unless Jarvis decides to slow down. We see her lap times dropping from a 2:02 early in the race to now a 2:08. I have a feeling that a lot of that may be due to the lap traffic that these riders are trying to work their way through, but regardless, good consistent laps by these girls, and again, not completely over as Jordan Jarvis makes her way into the through the heart of this race course one final time and toward the checker flag for a Moto 1 win coming out of the Storyland area. That infamous, I call it the infamous section of the track. Some riders have got great stories back there. Others riders have got
nightmares.
Nightmares. That's exactly it. It's Storyland, as we said, because of the family that flagged there for so many years, but it has certainly taken on a whole different persona there with the stories that come out of those battles that wage through that section of this race course. Into the big Sandy sweeper one more time here at the Thor Beach sweeper. The Polysport Beach sweeper, I guess, in the Thor sweeper turn. Into that final turn, the hard left-hand turner. And it looks like Jordan Jarvis is on her way home, as we said, and there they are. Checkers are out. Celebration fist in the air. And Jordan Jarvis is a Moto 1 winner with 10 laps down in this first Moto of racing. Hannah Hodges, barring no big mistakes, should be checking in here in just a moment in the 2nd place position. Unless she fell asleep and Taylor Allred was able to get around, Allred will finish up in that number 3 position. But wow.
Incredible, dude.
Man, those girls really laid it out there in that 2nd place position battle, no doubt. Jordan Jarvis also early on in the race, she had her hands full, but she knew she had to get away from that as quickly as she possibly could. Jamie Osadillo putting up a great ride and a good fight. Vivian Contreras is now the 5th place position. Taylor Jones, WXC, that is women's cross country defending champion, finishing up in the number 6 spot out here. Avery Berry in 7th, Katie Benson in 8th, Sophia Phelps in 9th, and Shelby Rowland rounding out the top 10 as we head down to the podium with Jason Wigan.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Allred rolling in, Hodges 2nd, and as you mentioned, the win for Jarvis is going to cool off for a second, and then we'll get our Moto winner up. First time today, slight semblance of the heat starting to come on. Nothing compared to in the past here at the ranch. Been lucky so far. Last year was pretty good, but first time the riders might need to take an extra minute to cool down, but not long because JJ is headed on back up. She is the gold medalist here in the first Moto of the women's class. Let's hear it for the number 30 of Jordan Jarvis. Coming around to the front, you got to get your own mic these days. Jordan, how'd that go? You're able to make the pass. Was that Moto good, or you got even more in store?
That Moto was definitely good, but I definitely got some more in for the next couple Motos. I didn't have a horrible start, but it wasn't what I wanted. I definitely wanted that whole shot. But I made some quick passes to get it in first, and it took me a lap or two to SUB, the whole SUB race team. They've done so much here. Max's, Kawasaki, Blood, Babbitt, everyone thank you, especially Fox and Monster, Atlas, Scott, Maxis again, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to be up here. It was a rough year last year, and I'm very excited to get this year started off on a good note.
All right, she's got vengeance on the mind. She wants this title. Let's hear it for Jordan Jarvis. Good run for her. We'll move to our 2nd place finisher when we can get her. That would be Hannah Hodges, who will also collect the Stasic Whole Shot Award. We'll bring you up here, Hannah, and she'll get that Stasic Whole Shot Award and 2nd in the Moto. And very rarely do all 3 Motos go clean across the board for any riders in these classes. So absolutely in title contention with the silver. Let's hear it for Hannah Hodges. Boy, you had battles all the way through a lot of that one. How do you stay cool under fire like that?
It's hard. I mean, the track's difficult this year. I think a lot of the rain early on in the week played some of that, but You just have to ride smart. I mean, it's a long race. Anything can happen to anyone, and most of us know that here at the ranch.
Cool. You happy with second, and you got some ideas for the next two motos to try to get the win?
Yeah, we're going to make some adjustments. First moto, second's not bad. I mean, you can still for sure get a title out of that, so we're going to go back and put our heads down and get it done.
All right. Who do you want to thank, Hannah?
Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe, my mom and dad, my mechanic Jake, New Ground, Troy Lee Designs, Alpine Star, Scott, Dunlop, Renthal, TLR, Maxima, anyone else I forgot, thank you.
All right, there it is. Hannah Hodges, second place, and your whole shot award. And Taylor Allred rode a great moto as well. It was a good battle for all three of these riders. We'll get Taylor on up here, talk about a third place finish. Had a little mistake at the end and settles for third. Let's bring up the bronze medalists. Got to figure lots of battles in store for these three as the week rolls on. Here's the KTM rider taking third in this one. Let's hear it for Taylor Allred. I saw just the beginning of a little mistake. Exactly what happened there when you were trying to get to second. Just go walk up to that mic there. It's a little different. How'd the battle for second go?
It was good. Gonna try and hopefully come out better next time.
All right. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, the whole KTM Orange Raid crew, Fly, Monster Army, Hope, Nate, Dave Dinolfi, Pro Taper, Ethica, anyone else I forgot, thank you.
All right, Taylor Allred, third place in women's.